Welcome back to another tier list. This one focused more on the competitive aspect of Supervive. If you want to be joining the scrims or playing in the sweatiest lobbies ever, this is the list for you basically. Now, if you enjoy the content, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and then we'll get right into it. Okay. To start off, if you have watched my other tier list videos, you have noticed that I've not been using the C tier placement. And that's for good reason, because I think all of the hunters are viable by any means, and I think they're all like good. But we're in the competitive setting. I think there are some C tier hunters, not because the hunters are bad, but because of their kit not bringing substantial value. And I want to start on that topic. I want to instantly, don't really care about order, but Mr. Bell, Eluna, Shiv, let me see where's the rest, Jin, yeah, those are like the main ones. So the reason why I put these hunters in the C tier for competitive aspect is that, one, they're super low range when you can just easily counter them. Brawl, Jin gets super countered by KP just neutralizing them, and KP just has a million more value than those two hunters. Eluna is dependent on your team dying, and when you're playing competitive games, when you die, you often get sniped or you get caught. So in most cases, you never get value out of the Eluna ult, and picking up people is super unreliable, so you don't get value of the kit. Shiv is a hunter where you need to get into the face of the enemy and you need to play on the edge, and I think it's extremely hard to get value out of Shiv unless they're broken. I'm not saying any of these hunters can't be playing competitive, but they need to be omega broken to get value into competitive settings, I believe. Now, into more other settings. I think there are some easy factors up on the top side. We look at the bottom. Now, the easy factors on top side is Oath, Celeste, KP. Now, the reason why I say this is, one, because of how the meta revolves around. As I mentioned in an earlier video, the meta always revolves around Oath or Celeste. Oath is currently meta, which means that he neutralized Celeste, and that means Celeste goes down. Now, if Oath is nerfed to the point where Oath is really bad to play, then Celeste instantly becomes S tier. So you will notice these always being in a team comp in some way. And right now, Oath is the one up here. So that means Celeste goes down. Celeste is not bad by any means. You can play like both Oath and Celeste if you want. But I wouldn't like have it as one of the best comps you can go. The reason why KP is here is because when there's slower paced games, more teams against you, the free hook potential onto people is really, really good. And also because he hard counters many other hunters, which means that these guys don't exist. Now, if KP wasn't a hunter, there's a chance for these guys to rise up. But the pick potential and the tankiness and the peeling potential with KP is really strong. That's why I believe those two are S tier for now. Now, on the other hand, I do think that Celeste is good. I think Bishop is better. She's in a spot where you can get a lot of poke value, you can get a lot of peeling value, but you can also get engage value. Bishop can do a lot of different stuff, which means you can build her into many comps and get lots of value from Bishop. She's not weak by any means. The nerfs weren't too substantial. They got rid of some mechanics which were really good on Bishop. Doesn't make her bad by any means, and she's still up here in general. Felix can work as a really good frontliner, deals a lot of good damage, but I also think he gets really countered by KP. It's hard for Felix to get value against Oath and KP when you can just peel him off and you play more front to back, more controlled style. Reason why I have Felix slightly above the others here is that I think he has more value as a team component, as being a tank and being a potential peeler and playing around the area and space a lot better. On Ghost, I think Ghost is really good with certain builds. Amplifier makes his laser really good. He doesn't bring too much other than like the poke and damage, so he needs peeling, he needs to be built around, he doesn't have too much flexibility. I do think he's very strong. I think he's in A tier where he can get a lot of value, but there's still a lot of others I would have before Go, so he's like more on the bottom side, but it's not bad enough to be in the B tier. Hudson, I think, is interesting. He has a lot of zoning potential and he has decent range. He's perceived as being a peeling hunter or like an anti-engage. The problem with Supervive is that the current hunters outrange him super easily, and his barbed wires you can just fly over. And when you play in competitive lobbies, people will have jump pads all the time. His barbed wires will not work. When he's shooting, he's also super immobile. He's dependent on having peel on the team. That's why he also struggles against KP. He can also be better when you pair him up with Oath. You can build comps around him, but I do think he struggles a lot against the current meta hunters. I would put him like top of B tier for now. Jewel, as mentioned in another video, struggles against Oath. If Oath is not in the meta, Jewel suddenly becomes top tier. I think Jewel struggles because you'll just have an Oath in all the games. There's so much sustain, it's easy to block her. KP can easily also match her engages. Now she can play easily around range against with resets, I mean. And resets for Jewel are really good, but they're a lot harder and a lot unrealistic to get off the resets. That's why I would like have her in top or B, because she's better than the other hunters here, but harder to be up in the A tier value kind of when you play team comps around her. Myth got some good buffs this patch, and I think she's very solid overall. Not S tier, but you just bring a lot of value with her range, her potential zoning, peeling, and mobility aspect. So Myth is really, really good at the moment. I would for sure want to have like Myth on the team. Shrike, I don't know, as I said, you just sidestep this girl. Like, mobility bad, her damage is fine. She has more value than these guys because she has zoning potential. If you hit one shot, you know that you have to respect her because of the damage that potentially happens. So she has like zoning potential by just hitting one shot and the pressure that is being applied. But I do think she just struggles against all of these top hunters, so you won't really be seeing Shrike. Void though, this is where Void shines. Like, I've shit on Void in the public games and the fast-paced games, but Void, when you've controlled space, when you're playing more slow and you're playing around Void, I think it can be really, really good. I for sure like up here in A tier, probably like better than Celeste also. I think if you play around Void and like having both Void and Celeste on the same team can be really, really, really good. So if you like Void and you want to get into the competitive lobbies, then you need a lot of games, you need a lot of experience with him. But I think he brings a lot of value in the competitive settings. Sephora Boy, untouched, Bubble Blade buffed, other hunters, slow-paced games. I think he's S tier. I think he's also I think KP maybe gives a little bit more value, but these guys are just so solid, like just really, really solid. Now the thing is, like, you don't have as much damage when you play all these together. Like, you want either like a Myth or a Bishop. You can't really pair these three with Void or Celeste because you lack more consistent damage. But Seth can deal a lot of damage. You build double blade on Seth. KP will often build double tank, and that's why you also should go blade and helm on Oath. I don't think you need the double tank items on Oath if you play this comp, so you can get a lot of damage value out of Oath. I think the potential best comp you can play right now is probably Oath, KP, Seth, and Myth, if you want to be playing in the competitive lobbies, and even also probably the highest echelons of ranked games. So this goes over all of the current hunters. I'm really excited for open beta. Hope everybody is enjoying it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the Sky Realms.